Hello, Mixed Nutcases, and hello to Dog Days of Advent, or Dog Days of Podcasting, or 12 Days of Podcasting listeners, whatever you're going to call yourselves, that are listening from the Dog Days of Podcasting feed. So every year, I, along with some other podcasters, have this weird tradition that we do some special podcasts in December. So in addition to regular podcasting, instead of like in the summer where we have the Dog Days of Podcasting where I do one episode a day for 30 days, I do 12 days of podcasting. And yes, we know that the 12 days of Christmas actually start on Christmas. This is non-secular, and it's more about leading up into the Christmas holidays. Now, some of the others are doing the Dog Days of Advent. So they've started on December 1st, and they are going through and putting out an episode a day. Among those, you've got the Bathtub Mermaid, who's a really good friend of the show and a patron. Nix also has a really fun new podcast there. Also patron and friend of the show. And friend of the show, Chris Moody, is also out there. Now, our other podcast here on Nimlas Studios, One Idjit's Thoughts, by Paul Mackey, is also doing 12 days of podcasting, although I think it's 12 days of Dog Days of Advent or something like that. Anyway, he's doing trivia, and it's been a lot of fun. While his trivia's gotten really hard, these latest ones are a little bit easier, so you should have fun with those. So I'm really interested to see who else is going to join the mix today, because today is the official day to start for 12 days. Today, I am going to do what I've done in previous years, where I do sort of test kitchen, but I don't have a lot of new recipes to try out. So instead, I'm going to share some favorites. I know that during the holidays, especially, and during all year round, a lot of times it can be really difficult to come up with something to make for food that you can just whip together. One, we're always stressing, oh, what am I going to make? And two, there's always the, what do I have in the house? And so I'm going to share one of my favorite recipes, and that is Penne alla Vodka. It sounds really complicated, but it's not, I promise. Now, there's the traditional way of making Penne alla Vodka, and that requires you to have, whole tomatoes, and you want to have some heavy cream and freshly grated Parmesan cheese and vodka and all of these other things. And that is awesome. I have done it the traditional way, and I have done it my cheating way. It all depends on what you have in the house. And I will tell you that there have been times when I have had to cheat my cheating way. My cheating way, I use cream cheese and it sounds wrong, but it works. And often I'm not using vodka because I live in Canada, and because of the way our alcohol is sold and everything, it's a big deal to go and get some vodka. It's not like you can just get cheap vodka just for cooking. So I just use cooking wine usually. It doesn't matter. Basically, what you're looking for is something that can burn off and pull those flavors. It's really great for deglazing. Okay, so let's get into it. So it's pretty simple. Look at your cupboard and decide, what do you have? So that's number one. I always like to keep some dry pasta on hand just because it's easy to make some food. And generally I like to have penne in case I want to make penne alla vodka. But this also works with rotini and anything else. Yes, I have ADD, so silly rabbit segues are for kids. Do you know what a Jawa's favorite pasta is? Rotini! Anyway, I said rotini, so I thought of my silly joke. But I always like to have some pasta on hand just so that I can do something. I also always want to have some crushed tomatoes or diced tomatoes, or even better, tomato paste. And these are in cans and they never go bad. There's also tubes of tomato paste that you can get, and that also works wonderfully. So it is up to you what you end up doing. Most of the time when I'm making this, I'm using one of those little cans of tomato paste. But you can use whatever you have, and you're going to have to figure out how much liquid do you want. Now, generally when I'm making this, I'm making it for Tech and myself. So it's 2 servings off, 3 servings. I might even have some leftovers. It all depends on how hungry we are. Also, I am going to add in here that if I'm cooking for me and Tech, he wants to have some more protein in there. So I'll throw in some chicken as well. Chicken works really good with Penne alla Vodka. If it's just me, I might do it without the chicken. Totally not a big deal. So first I'm going to take an onion or a shallot, whatever I have on hand. I tend to keep shallots on hand just because they seem to last better, and I can get like a big box of them and they work really well, but it's up to you what you have. If I don't have anything, I can always use dried or even onion powder. But if I've got the fresh on hand, I'm going to take my shallots. I'm going to saute them in some extra virgin olive oil. Again, you can use whatever you want. Then I am going to start adding in, once those are nice and clear, I'm going to add in my garlic. So I'm going to crush some garlic in there. If I don't have any fresh garlic, I can always put in, garlic powder. Like I said, this is what do you have on hand. I'm going to add in some oregano, some basil. I always put marjoram, and some red chili peppers. And I kind of want to give that like a nice, toastiness, and then I'll put in my tomato paste and I mix it all together. And then I'm going to deglaze with a splash of, and I'm using air quotes, of vodka, whatever cooking wine I have on hand. So I like rice cooking wine. It's cheap. It's easy for me to get. So I usually have that. But whatever you have is fine. If it's, sherry, if it's cooking white wine, whatever is cheap and you've got. I just think that if you look at my cooking shelf, I am not typical. I probably have like 6 or 7 different varieties of cooking wines, including a cooking sake. I understand that's not normal. Whatever. So I'm going to deglaze a little bit with that. And then I am going to get it so it's nice and liquidy. And then I'm going to add in my cream cheese. Now notice I haven't given you any measurements. And mostly it's kind of by feeling. And I look at how red is it? How pink do I want it to be? What should it look like? What am I used to? And I'm constantly tasting things. So I will also, if I have Parmesan, I will put some Parmesan in there as well. And I've been cooking my penne noodles. So I will take that pasta water and I will mix that pasta water in and kind of thicken it all up, and it ends up being really good. I'm going to taste it. I'm going to add salt and freshly ground pepper. It is up to you. Again, how much do you want to use based on your taste buds and everything else? And it just kind of mixes up really good. If I've got chicken that's already cooked, it's really great. If you've got like leftover chicken from a previous night, I can just shred it, put it in there. If I've cooked up some chicken, I'm going to slice it. I'm going to put it in there after it's cooked. I don't want to get all the cooking chicken juices into the pasta sauce, right? And then once it's all done, I'm going to have it really nice. And then once my pasta's done, I'm going to drain that, and then I'm going to take the sauce and I'm going to put it back in the pot I cooked the pasta in, and I'm going to end the pasta and I'm going to mix it all together so it gets really nice and coated. And I can always put more Parmesan cheese on there as well. Now, if you don't have Parmesan, you can totally skip it. It's not a big deal. If you need a little more liquid, you can add more of your cooking wine before you do the whole mixing. It's all kind of like by feeling. And I know that people who are not used to cooking really hate hearing that. This is one of those throw together meals, and you have to be willing to say, I know what I like and I'm going to taste it. And if I think it needs more, I'm going to add more. And that's kind of, I'm giving you permission to do this. Cooking is not science. There is science in it, but it is not that you have to do everything exact. It's not like, if you do something slightly out of order, you've ruined your dish. As long as you don't use salt for sugar or sugar for salt, I think you're going to be fine. But yeah, so you just cook it all together, and it's a really easy peasy in the middle of the week meal. Now, I've done it with the heavy cream. I've done it with the whole tomatoes and everything else. And guess what? It's just as good. But having that cheat code is really helpful. Here's another cheat code I've got for you. I will get Parmesan cheese and I will grate it up myself, and I will put it in the freezer. I keep a jar of real Parmesan that I've grated in the freezer, and then I can sprinkle it into anything and it never goes bad. And it's so much tastier than, the shelf version that you buy at the store that, you put it in the fridge after you buy it, but it's been sitting there on the shelf because it's kind of not real cheese. If that's what you've got, that's fine. I also use that. There is no shame in any of that. But if you wanted to know how do I keep around some Parmesan cheese, just keep it in the freezer. It doesn't go bad. It's great. And, sometimes you can also just cut off blocks and defrost them when you want them if you want to be super fancy. But I just have it grated and stuck in the freezer. All right. I hope this helps and talk to you tomorrow. The Nutty Bites podcast is produced by Nimla Studios under the Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives 4.0 International Deed. What this means is you can share it, but you can't change it, you can't make money off it, and you need to link back to me, my site, and everything. We live at nimlas.org. There you can find links to social media, Discord, our Facebook group, Patreon, or you can call us at 347-NUTTY-42. We do not consent to having AI scrape, learn from, or repurpose the Nutty Bites podcast.